Welcome back to Takeout. New York Mayor Zoran Mamdani's been in office more than 100 days. His unlikely relationship, pretty good, with President Trump until, well, just a social media post ago, I'll get to that in a second, is kind of one way or another defining the Democratic Socialist time in office. Here is how the mayor described that dynamic, Mamdani and Trump, on CBS Mornings. Please listen.
I would say the two of us are in touch. We've had a number of meetings now in the Oval Office, and we are honest, direct about the fact that we have many disagreements. There is one place of agreement that we have, which is that we both love New York City. And that's, I think, something that is at the heart of every conversation we have. It's how can we make this city better? Because both of us have said publicly that the better the city does, the better we feel.
Well, on that topic, let me read a social media post from the president seconds ago. Sadly, Mayor Mamdani is destroying, that's all caps, New York. It has no chance, exclamation mark. The United States of America should not contribute to its failure. Will only get worse. That's also in caps. The tax policies are so wrong. I stopped talking about all the all caps. People are fleeing. They must change their ways, and fast. On and on. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Okay, Harrison Fields is with me, and Democratic strategist and political contributor for CBS News, Chuck Rocha. Great to have you both here. Harrison, pick up on Trump and Mamdani and what we just heard.
Well, the mayor was being a little too cute by half with his videos about tax day, and it just reminded the president that while he's a smiling man, that he may be a cordial person to talk to in the Oval Office, he's destroying the greatest city known to man, New York City, where my family spent years, decades serving in the NYPD, and it's sad to see. But the good news for my home state of Florida is they're all coming to us. Look at the taxes. Look at safety.
But Governor Hochul said she's not going to allow him to raise taxes.
But look at the taxes over 20 years in New York.
Yeah, but he hasn't raised many new ones.
Democratic policies within the city.
Right.
His proposals, free childcare, free grocery stores, free buses, where's this money going to come from?
Grocery stores.
Fair. And it's going to take till 2030 for this thing to even open up. His policies are an empty bag. That he's over-promising. He is certainly under-delivering in the first 100 days. He can't even shovel snow in the city. You talk to New Yorkers there, and it's unfortunate. But it's unfortunate for the New Yorkers that cannot leave. For the rich New Yorkers that are leaving to my home state of Florida, it's fine. $20+ billion of capital is already flooding into Miami because New Yorkers are done with New York City. But for the people that cannot leave, it's a sad story.
Chuck?
You know, Mamdani kind of swept into the office running against a flawed Democrat named Cuomo. Andrew Cuomo, right. And he's made the most of it. And the one thing that I look at, you know, a lot of folks like to pontificate on TV about all the tea leaves and stuff, but he had a lot of folks rallying around him. Democrats were looking for fresh energy, and I think they found him. Does everybody agree with all the Mamdani stuff that he's talking about with public policy? No, we're a big tent. There's a right and the left and the middle of the Democratic Party, but he's brought something that we've been looking for, and that's energy, especially after old Joe Biden. And after old Joe Biden, we were looking for somebody who had a little bit of spirit, and I think we found it here, and we're looking for other folks like that.
But one of the things he also said, he was like, well, they said democratic socialism cannot get elected in New York City. And he's trying to flirt with the idea of maybe running statewide, maybe bringing this to a national ticket.
He mentioned that in the CBS Mornings.
And I just don't think the country's there. I don't think it's there. It's going to be very interesting to see what the Democratic establishment does when they have a primary. Do they want to go Zoran route, or do they want to go more moderate? It's going to be a major test.
That is going to be a fault line in the 2028 process, no doubt. Chuck, I want to ask you about Ana Paulina Luna's conversation with me about Ruben Gallego, Arizona Democratic senator. She laid out some pretty harsh accusations, saying that the Senate needs to review them, and she's uncomfortable with him continuing to serve in the Senate. You know Senator Gallego?
Yes, I do know him, and I've worked for him, and I work for a lot of Democrats, and I tell them all the same thing. And I was shocked in watching her, and I've been shocked at watching the Oppo dump on my good friend Ruben. Like, the one thing you do when you're telling folks what to do in these kind of situations, and Ruben did it this week when he had that long press conference that was agonizing, is you go and tell the truth. And you get in front of people. If you have nothing to hide, and he doesn't, he went out and told the truth. Now, because we live in the internet age, you have a lot of things. And I don't think that 99% of any of this stuff is true. But you get out, you tell the truth. I know him. He loves his family, and he loves this country.
So in that press conference, he said a couple of things that matter in the context of what Ana Paulina Luna said on this show. He denied any misconduct within his marriage. He denied any mistreatment of any female staffer that has ever worked for him. And that would be inclusive of the things that Ana Paulina Luna alleged on this program. So he's denied it in advance.
Right. In front of a table of cameras and in front of everybody, because that's what you do. Anybody who's running a campaign for 2 seconds.
Harrison?
Democrats in Arizona are hyperventilating right now.
Because?
They don't believe him. They are very concerned by even the appearance of impropriety, his close relationship with Eric Swalwell. There's a lot of rumor. There's a lot of innuendo. I'll be interested to see the evidence that Congresswoman Paulina Luna has. But if you are a Democrat in Arizona right now, you are getting ready to launch a campaign for whatever the special election is.
I want to ask you about this, Harrison, because you were very close to the White House. You worked for President Trump. The president has often said allegations, innuendo, insufficient, and they're harmful in politics. We're talking about allegations that have yet to be proven. The president you work for said you need to prove it, not just allege it. Aren't you in any way uncomfortable with just allegations that have yet to be proven?
I've never been in favor of guilt in public opinion, right? If this is going to come out, you're going to have potentially survivors come out. And everyone's going to have to make a decision, right? For Eric Swalwell, the evidence was mounting in the court of public opinion. He made a decision to leave, as well as Tony Gonzalez. I believe if this is a criminal proceeding, let it go to a criminal proceeding. And, everyone has their day in court. But from a perspective of what are your constituents lacking in this member, this person has no credibility anymore. Well, he's in a cloud of this mess right now, and he probably has to consider dropping out.
Chuck, 10 seconds.
Look, I think that folks here know when you read and they know Paula Luna. Go and look at the rest of her tweets, is all I will say. We live in a country, one of the greatest countries in the world.
She's very consistent on this issue. And the Epstein issue is
also consistent on you're innocent until proven guilty.
All right.
Fair.
Chuck Rocha, Harrison Fields, thank you very much. I appreciate it.